everybody? Welcome back. We have another great Two Tamers Talk. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm excited. We're glad everyone can make it to watch another episode of us. Thank you to all of our amazing fans and our subscribers.
Yeah.
I've been watching the awesome support that we've been having on our most recent videos. I think we had the Galmon came out, the two different Alliance decks come out. I mean, there's so many ways to build Alliance, right? And I really love what Basil's been doing for the channel. So huge shout out to him. Appreciate it, man. You know,
for sure. Man, it has been kind of a quick turnover with this EX4. I mean, I feel like we barely knew it. Like we got to dip our toes in it a little bit. I mean, you dipped your toes more than I did because there wasn't a whole lot in this set for me personally. But it seems like it was over in a flash. I think this has definitely been the quickest format we've seen in Digimon since the beginning.
I don't know.
We've been in it since the beginning.
I don't personally like super quick formats. I don't want them super long either. Like I'll never forget how long the hybrid format was. That was traumatizing. Right. But like, I feel like the EX4 format was just too fast. You know, you didn't get a chance to explore everything. All you really had a chance to do was build like 2 decks, explore those for maybe a little bit. And I feel like I didn't even get a chance to peek everything.
I feel like Digimon, or not Digimon, but Bandai was just like, okay, well, there's no decks for Jesse, so we're just gonna move on. We're just gonna get to the good stuff because I've been excited for BT-13 since the reveals for BT-13. I mean, we've been talking about it, we've been gushing over it because all the Royal Knights. I mean, at the end of the day, like we're both Zoo players. Like we love that format, and they're just like, here's an actual legit way to do that.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really cool. I don't know if it's going to be a top meta kind of thing. We don't have accurate results from, I mean, in comparison to ban list with Japan. So we don't know what's going to happen here, but I can't wait to see. I'm excited to see like if that actually takes off. I'm going to build that. And I'm going to have to, we're going to have to get multiple sets of the alt arts because what are you excited to build for BT-13?
There's so many things I'm excited for BT-13, right? The problem is a bunch of my decks that I play get updated. Ravemon gets a whole second half. It's a whole 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't think of another tribe besides Agumon and Gabumon in the main, right? That just back-to-back 2 sets in a row got full 3, full 4, full 5, full 6, and now a 7 dedicated and another tamer. Literally everything for Ravemon. Like, I can't believe this. So Ravemon's going to be crazy fun to build. I get tons of my Phoenixmon deck is still one of my favorite decks. And for those of you who have seen both the Phoenixmon and the Ravemon, let me know which bird deck is your favorite. Don't tell me why it's Hawkmon Armor Rush, because I can see the view count on all 3 of those videos, which is crazy. But no, it's just so much stuff. The Royal Knight stuff seems so much fun. But for whatever reason, I just want to play Leopardmon. Like
you're picking an outlier
for a new deck. Like I specifically want to play Green Leopardmon.
Okay.
I've always been a Leopardmon. He's always been kind of one of my favorite Royal Knights. Just no good reason why. I just love his design. Like he's just cool. And
well, man,
I want to build
as soon as all the Royal Knight stuff came out with the Sistermons and stuff, I tried to put Sistermons in every color of Royal Knights. And back then, you could actually make, you could make almost every color of Royal Knights with Sistermons and go 500 at a tournament.
Yeah,
because it wasn't a crazy. I mean, there wasn't everything that you have now as far as all the crazy Greymons and stuff that just wins outright if you're slow.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I might want to bring back the problem is you and I both want to play Kentoris, and I think I would rather play Leopardmon. So I'm going to let you have Kentoris because I played Kentoris in 1.0.
Yeah.
Right? Like, obviously, that was a BT3 card for those of you in the Japanese scene. We've been playing since then, but I played it in BT1. That was my main boss.
1.0,
yeah, in 1.0 was Kentoris. I loved it. It's funny how much I enjoyed that deck and then seeing the Kudamon and a specific tamer for it coming out in BT-13. I mean, like, you're right. We get all the Royal Knights. It's time that we could just you can pick your favorite Royal Knight, build a pretty decent deck around it, or you could even feature, do your Yggdrasil package and all your normal stuff. But, I mean, honestly, like, the best card out of BT-13 is my homie Omekamon. That little crayon on him.
That's right, yeah.
I had a playmat. I have a playmat of him. I've had it for so long now. He's just a cool dude. That's all. So I don't know. BT-13 is going to be exciting. Tons of stuff to build for sure. It's one of those things that I think the set is going to surprise me more and more as I look deeper into it and start realizing all the things I can do with it.
Yeah.
Because there's more than just Royal.
Absolutely. You have the Belphemon. You have the entire, like, you have all kinds
and that's
of
a purple deck, and I love purple decks,
Yeah.
and that's one of the coolest Demon Lords ever. And
it's another unique playstyle.
Yeah, it's another unique playstyle, and I haven't even thought about it. I haven't even looked at it, and it's like I've been so focused because I'm distracted with new Ravemon pieces. I'm distracted with new Phoenixmon pieces. I'm distracted with Leopardmon, and it's like
we're all terrified of Shine Gray.
And we're all terrified of Shine Gray, and it's just going to be brutal, and it's just like, yeah, no, exactly. But no, BT-13 is going to be fun. I mean, is there anything that you're looking for, like, to build in BT-13 that, you know, isn't Royal Knights? I mean, or what do you want to talk about from BT-13?
My biggest love for BT-13 is going to be Jesmon, because I've been having a ton of fun with Jesmon.
Absolutely.
I mean, as far as like my success with Royal Knights, I mean, Ulforce has obviously been like my bread and butter.
You've been playing both of those two Royal Knights really religiously
really hard,
now.
But the support for Ulforce really isn't there in BT-13. You get one more Ulforce, but it's not necessarily like the best one. It doesn't really change the deck that much. You don't get any new 3s and 4s, and you don't get any support for it. But Jesmon, on the other hand, is kind of the counter. It's the flip, right? Because you get kind of a crappy level 6. It's not great. Like, it's good if you tuck it with the Jess GX.
Yep.
But that's really the only benefit of it. But the pieces underneath it, the new Savior Huckmon, the new Bow Huckmon, the new Huckmon, like, you just take all those crappy ones that you got from the last couple sets out. And you just put in the new pieces that gain you memory when you play Sistermons. And you're like, this is broken. It just lets you essentially build another stack next to your Jesmon while you're doing your Jesmon things. It just makes you, it's crazy. I can't wait. I think it's going to be stronger than people think.
I don't want to test that with you at all.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You're just going to put Crimson Blazes in every deck.
I mean, all my red decks are just going to start playing Crimson Blazes from now on because it's just been too good lately.
No, absolutely. And I know I'm excited for, I'm going to build, and I think Jacob's probably going to build a better version of it.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen Jacob's videos, check those out. His deck
great
profiles are great.
Builder. Yeah, his brain is
but he's
too good for him.
His favorite Digimon is Alphamon.
Yeah.
And he's going to build Alphamon. I'm going to build Alphamon. I think he's probably going to do it better because
I'm excited.
He knows it better than I do.
Well, I'm excited to see all of the Alphamon support come back because, like, obviously Alphamon was a menace in BT9 and dominated and kind of frustrated a lot of people because they restrict, the
Doru Gray.
And they rightfully restricted that Doru Gray. But it kind of sucks that once that happened, you would see it spring up here and there and people would still do well with it, but it's never quite the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of nice to let Alphamon be a face, let him do those things, because for those of you who know Omnimon's Japanese name, it's Omegamon, and personally I like that translation better, right? You have the Alpha and the Omega, right? Like the beginning and the end, and it's like, you're telling me Alphamon's going to have no representation in the game, but Omnimon is?
Yeah, and I remember playing against that deck, and that deck is terrifying because it's never your turn, which is kind of like... It's frustrating, but at the same time, you're like, man, that deck is good.
It's absolutely frustrating, but also anybody can play it. Like, there was no stopping everybody showing up to locals with Alphamon and just doing that. People just kind of chose not to. Like, I know I never played Alphamon and stuff. I was always trying to do the Dex Doragora stuff because I like the Doragoramon. I think he's a really cool level 6. He's personally my favorite level 6 from the Doraemon line, but that's because I'm biased or... I
think we've just both all been victims to that Ryukin mode, and just how menacing that is. Like,
absolutely.
If you let them get into that level 7, ooh, you're in for it, man.
Yeah.
Especially with all the Orumons and stuff, let you unsuspend and just keep going. It
was a cool strategy how they made that work for sure.
Yeah, but once they took away the Doru Greymon, it was very reminiscent of how they took away that first Savior Huckmon from Jesmon.
Yeah, that's
and how much that impacted the deck. Where we're just like, we're going to take away your level 5. But once they give you another one with the same name, with kind of similar effects, like the new Doru Grey just replaces the old one.
Yeah,
same way the newest Savior Huckmon was like the best part of the new Jesmon support. Because the Bauhuck and the Huckmon, even the promo ones, okay, but the new ones that gain you memory when you play a Sistermon, like, obviously that's exactly what the deck does.
It's kind of nice that you get a whole line dedicated to the Jesmon. Alphamon gets a whole new line. Like we said earlier, Ulforce doesn't really get a lot. Like, not every Royal Knight gets full line support.
Yeah.
Like Galamon doesn't necessarily need more support. They just had EX4. They just had, BT-11 to have, BT-12.
BT-12,
Yeah, so they've had some support for a while now. So, it's kind of cool that they're giving it to Jess. It's kind of cool they're giving it to Alpha. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for they're taking advantage of a Royal Knight set and really doing a good job giving pieces. Like every Royal Knight archetype gets something.
With the exception of Lord Knight. Lord Knight gets kind of burned by having a purple.
It gets a better colored Lord Knight now.
But it doesn't.
Same with
do
Dinah's. It gets a better colored.
I thought it was funny that they burned the Lord Knight players with the purple Lord Knight, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, they're like, "Oh, but we're gonna give you a yellow black Nightmon level 5, so you can actually."
We still haven't even seen that card. I don't know what it's gonna do. I haven't seen the review for it.
We've seen it. Yeah,
that's how much I've been paying attention.
Yeah, no, we've seen it. I mean, it's a promo. I think it's a promo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in that promo pack with the Diaboro, the Rust Tyranno, the Shade Ramon, the Nightmon.
Yeah, something
something else. I don't.
But the point is that's gonna make Lord Knight, Yellow Lord Knight, really viable in the fact that you're gonna be able to play a full play set of 2 level 5s on swing with the Yellow Lord Knight, which I think is gonna be fantastic.
10 sets ago, you know what I'm saying? Thankfully, because man, BT5 was already menacing enough with Lord Knight. I couldn't imagine 2 Nightmons being played.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if your opponent drew the Night, because I think that the new Nightmons are also blockers.
I don't know what they do.
They're also blockers.
I'm avoiding them on purpose.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun throwback when that comes out because I'm gonna play Lord Knight for sure, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, you're gonna be able to put Shadow Seraphis on top and do that for your other level 6s if you want. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, let us know in the comments who your favorite Royal Knight is.
Yeah.
Let us know what you're excited to play in BT-13. We didn't talk about the Chessmon stuff. We are definitely excited about that. Jesse's already brainstorming the best deck you'll ever see with those boys.
I like the Tamer. The Tamer's good. It's going to be fun.
Tons of good stuff for the game, for the set, and we're excited to hear you guys' feedback about it for sure. But
yeah,
let's
piggybacking on top of that, we have pre-release coming out. I think the first pre-releases are technically today when this podcast comes out.
Okay.
So I'm going to be trying to play in at least 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, no. So why don't we just dive into pre-release kind of thoughts, right? So
yeah.
Normally, what we like to do, guys, is we like to do a full-on pre-release breakdown. My fault, guys. I have had a horrible week at work. I planned a big project at work for the past 6 months, and it's finally happening this week. And just imagine every step going wrong. It's what's been happening to me. So I haven't had a chance to even think about pre-release. So just doing some real quick, brief looking. Right, when you first think about this set, because we were talking about this early, how this is kind of a zoo set.
Yeah.
Right, how the Royal Knight Zoo, with all the different ways to build the Royal Knights, that's kind of the main thing that people are going to get out of this deck when it comes to constructed format.
Yeah, if you're playing the core of this set, not the outliers.
Yeah, so it's going to suck, guys, but in your 6-pack pre-release, and I guess that's something maybe else we should mention too, we are not going to be doing a box this time like normal.
Yeah.
Normally we do a full box pre-release. That will hopefully happen next set.
No, well, yeah.
Hopefully, we don't know quite yet, but
it's just going to be challenging because of all the sets to play a 6-pack pre-release. I feel like this is the one that's going to be
because if you pull 3 Yggdrasil eggs, you can't digivolve on top of it.
Yeah,
it specifically says don't digivolve in the breeding area on it. So if you
you can't digivolve. Yeah,
so you can't digivolve on top of Yggdrasil as an egg, and if you just don't pull that, then your draw power is hurting.
Yeah,
right. So one of the cards that I wanted to mention was the Tesla Jellymon, the level 4. It's just a straight up when attacking draw 1.
Yeah,
right. For 2 cost Evo, pretty good. 5 cost hard play, 5K, just a good normal level 4. This set doesn't really have turbo pieces, right? Normally we look for turbo pieces. We look for high DP bodies,
cheap digivolve,
two cost rookies, right? And this set doesn't really have it. So what I would recommend for everybody doing their 6-pack, this is how I'm going to approach it. Take my advice. I don't care. I mean, what I'm going to open up your 6-packs.
Yeah.
Separate by level.
Yeah.
Right. Separate by level first. Right. Go eggs 3, 4, 5, 6 options tamers. Separate like that. Boom. Yeah. Easy like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to figure out how am I going to draw cards, whether that be I need to digivolve on an egg, right? So you want to play as many eggs that are not Yggdrasil as possible. Level 3s, you want to prioritize level 3s that either have blocker. In this set, there's tons of them. We got the Angoromon, we got the Gatsumon, we got the Chessmon, the black version of the Chessmon. The blocker, it is a 1-cost Evo, so I try to avoid it unless you're just going to go full in on the Chessmon stuff. Depending what you got, but it's not a bad hard play for 3 to have a blocker on the field. just tons of blockers in this set. I feel like this set has had the most amount of blockers I could remember in a long time. Because there's 4s with blockers, there's 5s with blockers, 6 with blockers. That's going to be really helpful because I think what's going to happen is people are going to try too hard to build something that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Which is usually what I see happen in pre-release.
People get too into
that instead of just
a tribe.
Instead of just knowing how basic Digimon is played, where basic Digimon is just, digivolving, high DP, drawing cards, deleting things, right? Kind of stick it, that way.
I think the strategy is either to go cheap and wide or to go cheap and high.
Yeah.
I
personally like to mix both if when possible, right?
If possible, but I mean, if you pull like a good level 6, like an SR or something, or I mean, you even get lucky and you get the SR and you get the alt art of the SR in the same set, which you can do.
Yep.
Then you just try and get there as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times your opponent won't have an answer for those big level 6 SR, when digivolvings or when attackings, and they just dominate the game and they just win you the game.
Yeah.
Because there's no contingencies in pre-release. It's literally just like, you don't really play defensive in pre-release.
You do with blockers when you need to.
When you need to.
Yeah.
But if you can slow your opponent down with blockers, that's fine. But as far as like, I guess not defensive, but you don't play control.
Yeah.
You don't play the long game in pre-release. Usually you play fast.
No,
hard.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you throw, your level 3 blockers out there, especially if there's 0-cost digivolves and stuff like that.
Yeah. But there's a lot of 1-cost level 3s in this set, and it's going to suck because you're going to have to avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also going to have to play the game of, I got 6 packs, I got 5 rookies in my packs or whatever. If you're lucky, right?
Lucky, yeah.
So it's going to be fun. I'm kind of excited to just do a 6-pack. Like, obviously, I missed the box that we normally do, and I can't wait to get back to doing that. But it's going to be kind of fun to have a 6-pack and just go crazy and see what happens, right? Like, it's just going to be interesting. Like, you're not going to try to play the Ravemon deck with 6-packs.
No.
You might be able to come close and get one-ofs of everything if you get lucky with your pulls and stuff. But
I feel like you might be able to get away with some Chessmon stuff. Like,
I don't think you're going to be able
it's
to.
Common, uncommon, most of it. So
yeah, but they're all going to be 1-cost, 4-cost Evos, and then you're going to be a turn behind with everything you do. You know what? Yeah. Let us know in the comments who's right, Jesse or Jeff, and we'll give you the results when we come back. Because I think we're doing this pre-release on Sunday, so just a couple days from now.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun, and we'll be sure to give you the results and stuff. But it's kind of fun looking through this BT-13 set right now
it's
because
wild.
There's just,
I think it's a groundbreaking.
Like there's Prince Mamimon. I like who knew that Mamimon support was gonna get better, right? That's something that I didn't think was gonna happen. I love all the like Sukamon, Edamon, trash poop deck things. Not trash like as in bad, but you know what I mean. Like literally like the trash Digimon.
It's crazy to me how much they fit in one set. Because when you look at it, you're like, okay, Royal Knights.
Yeah, this does really.
But then you look at all the corners of the set, and you look at all the things that they added, like the Belphamon, and they added the Jellymon.
And this is going to be part of the reason pre-release is going to be hard, because there's not a vanilla card in this set.
Yeah, everything has an effect.
Everything has an effect. Normally, we get cards with vanilla, right? Yeah. We get like one of each level for each color or whatever that has just a vanilla line. Right now, I'm looking at just scrolling through on DigimonCard.dev. It's literally just the Dorumon, Alphamon line up to the 3 and the 4. Yeah, just the 3 and the 4 that don't have an effect on them. They like everything has inheritables, but just the 3 and the 4 so far, just scrolling, are the only cards that don't have effects.
Yeah, it's wild.
Which is wild. And then we have all of these Tamers, and just like you were saying, right? We get the Royal Knights. We have a whole Digimon Savers, Digimon. I don't remember the season. Season 5, I think it was season 5 is what people call it. Savers, Data Squad, whatever, depending on your localization, dub, sub, all that support that works and fits in this. Then we get, just tons and tons of cool things. It's like it's just all over the place. So this is going to be a great set, and when we do our like year in review video, this might go down as the best set of the year. So we're looking forward to see what you guys think and what your opinions are.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And like you said, like when we do review this entire year, I mean, there's a lot in this set.
There is a lot.
So we're going to see what the impact is, because we don't have accurate like data from Japan, because the ban lists were not the same. We're not mirroring ban lists. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out.
Or you mean like the fact that there's already an errata and Craniumon out?
Oh, I know, right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
We have a couple good friends of the channel from our locals that are just already like, really? That's like my favorite Digimon. This is my favorite deck playstyle, and you're gonna already like.
Well, that's what's cool, man. Is like the Royal Knights have such a wide, diverse fan base. You know, like give the fans the ability to play their favorite Royal Knight. I mean, that's just how all Digimon should be. Everybody should be able to get all their favorite Digimon. Yeah. And be able to play it, unless you're a Grey Knights fan, because apparently you're not good enough to get a good card.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Yeah. We've also seen some crazy reveals this week. I mean, last week we had a ton of reveals. I mean, that was kind of like the heart of the show, was just all these crazy new cards coming out. But this week, we had reveals that weren't necessarily new cards. But I wasn't expecting another event pack already.
No, neither. I mean,
because I'm still collecting all of my Event Pack 4 cards. Usually it's like one a year, like maybe not a whole year, but I feel like Event Pack 4 was pretty. Yeah, Event Pack 4 was just like a few months ago.
That just goes to show you, man. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, or when you're spending money on Event Pack cards.
Yeah.
But Event Pack 5 was revealed, and we have some whoppers, man. We have
almost every card in this is great, but there is one that I am flabbergasted by.
Just one?
And I'm gonna just one. There's
you pick
only
your one. I'll tell you my 4.
You have 4 that you're flabbergasted with?
At least 3. At least
3. See? Okay.
3.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 18 cards in this Event Pack 5.
Yeah.
The only one that to me is like, why? Izzy and Joe, or I mean, Izzy and Mimi.
Oh, okay, because it already has.
It already has a box topper that's like the exact same.
It looks pretty
like
close,
this is going to be what, a different shade of green? Because I do think that maybe they used a little bit too dark of a shade of green, but it's still a beautiful card. Like it's still an awesome box topper, and that's one of my favorite green tamers because I love green gacha.
Yeah.
I've been playing green gacha with the Tortomons. When that Tortomon came out, that was awesome for the game. But like everything else here in my mind, and I'll let you like dive into what cards you're like, why? Makes so much sense. Like they're all used. I mean, like obviously Agu Bond is old, right? And there's they're always gonna have some quote unquote older choices.
My question is, are they gonna actually texture these? Like because like you said with that Izzy and Mimi, like. The only thing I could see them doing to make that card better is texture it because it looks exactly the same as the one that you're talking about, the box topper.
But like they did a great job picking tamers. We don't have alt arts. There's no alt art Alice. Alice wasn't even foiled, right? Because
Alice
it was a rare.
Isn't even you. I mean,
Alice is great. Alice has tons of good applications.
There's some new applications.
Alice deserved this.
Analog Man
deserved it.
Even though they restricted him for Ultimate Cup. Like, it's funny how they restrict cards and they're like, and we'll give you an Ultimate.
For sealed format, when you're playing at locals, you're still going to play 4 Analog Man. So you might as well have this, right? Yeah. You know, and then like the fact that TK and Kari finally are getting like a full art yellow, it's like took you long enough. Like, from now on, Bandai, when you make tamers, every time, just have an alt art.
Give us an alt art.
As a box topper. Just always have box toppers. Always have them be tamers. From now on, you're not allowed to make tamers without a full art because it just looks so much better when they're full art. Like, come on.
So the ones that blew me away.
Yeah.
The Bond tamers.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But they don't have an alt art.
You're talking about, what was that? BT...
7?
6? 7? Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. I'm just like, nobody plays those anymore. Like nobody plays Agubon, nobody plays Gabubon. Yeah, it's early on.
Yep.
Over a year plus.
People did play them.
They did.
And this would have been great a year ago.
A year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. Yeah, like it's interesting that they picked those two because
I'm cool with it because we don't have an alt art for it. So that makes sense.
When I look at these alt arts, I think of a theme, right? Like Gravity Crush. Okay, Gravity Crush is making a comeback because people are using it in top tier decks. They're using it in Mervacross. They're using it.
There's no way Bandai played that far ahead.
They're using it in. Hey, are you sure? I mean, they didn't do a lot. They didn't do a lot to the card.
Yeah,
they just added.
I
think added a red border.
I think it's going to be incredible.
It's going to be great.
That's going to make it.
But it seems like this is reactive of what's doing well in the meta right now. For most of these cards that don't have alt arts. I mean, you're looking at Autostako, you're looking at Attack of the Heavy Mobile.
Flame Hellscythe too.
Machine's been doing great. Flame Hellscythe has been an amazing card
Blazing
for
Memory
a while.
Boost.
Grandel Soul is used in
I love
Bloom
all of
Lord.
I love all of these. This is to me, this is the best event pack we've ever got.
It's pretty good. It's just some of them are really surprising me, especially like the Sunflamon when they just announced the textured alt art of the Sunflamon.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like good planning.
And you're like,
there's two different departments at Bandai doing that. Why are you giving us
this alt art that's nobody's... I mean, it's not going to be... But Blazing Memory Boost?
Yeah. Blazing Memory Boost is going to be hard to tell because the blue doesn't
It's already blue?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the same looking. And the problem is everything in my Blue Flare deck has that pre-release stamp, and it's like, I guess I have a theme, and my theme is pre-release.
Now, Bandai, prove us wrong, and just texture all these cards.
Yeah, but like the Dracomon looks great. That's awesome. The Ignite, to me, is the best one. The Ignite is sick.
Ignite's
Ignite
amazing,
needs some sort of altar because it's just going to be a staple.
Well, I mean, the Ignite has
deck.
the same background as the Alice. If you didn't notice it, I mean,
because the purple's the best and just deserves the best of everything. I'm sorry, guys.
But the Rise Gray X Antibody, I'm pretty sure is just meant to pair with all those Tamer Party stuff that we got.
Yeah,
right?
I really like that. I like that. I kind of like these like full borders with the color like that, like the yellow 8-cost Pulsemon tribal Achillesmon option, whatever. The LA, that card like that to me on this picture looks great as just a full yellow card. Yeah. And I'm not normally like a yellow fan. Like just the color yellow in general. I've never been like, oh, yellow. But like to me, it looks great as a full art like this. So I'm pretty excited. And I mean, Gravity Crush is a full art. That's incredible. That's going to be worth so much money. I feel like.
I mean, it's used in a lot of winning decks.
It's going to be used in a lot of winning decks. You're going to want 4 of it anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes so much sense. Attack of the Heavy Mobile will be a lot of fun, too, for Raidenmon. I mean...
yeah, that's clearly what they planned on when they...
I mean, Raidenmon is the center of the art on that card, so clearly they planned it for Raidenmon.
It's what it is. It's what it's for. Yeah. So, great event pack. I mean, I think these start coming out in August, I think, with the tournaments in August. So I think
it's almost already August.
I know. So that means I got to get the rest of my event pack 4 stuff.
Better hurry up.
It's all going to be gone. But now, if we're talking about like all the applications of these cards, we did have a regional.
Yeah.
Our first, I think our first EX4 regional. Probably one of the only because the window was so short, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I think this is our first.
There's no
regional?
EX4 deck. I mean, I guess there's EX4 cards, but no EX4 decks.
Well, I mean, like with the core, but there's some pieces.
I think I see one EX4 card in these 4 decks. And that is Shadow Seraphimon.
Whoa, we're not there yet. Let's go to first place. Let's start with...
Start at the top. Okay.
Bloom Hydra, I should say.
Oh, I think actually this is a new egg. So I guess you're right. There's 2 whole cards from
with
EX4 in these.
Oh, yeah, the Kokomon.
Yeah,
the Kokomon's really good. Yeah.
Interesting split. I don't know if... Honestly, that's so funny because I thought that was like one of the worst cards out of EX4, that egg. And people are using it, but shows how much I know.
Shows how much we play green.
I never play green.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a dumb gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play good green decks.
Leomon, or
Leomon isn't a green deck. It's a blue deck, okay?
Well, there's green Leomons.
Somehow. And there's also yellow Leomons. Where's my red Leomon? Security attack jamming, but end of attack deleted. I don't know. Gain 2 memory.
Regardless, I mean, this list plays... I mean... They went down to the 1 Blossmon because they have to, right? And they just went up on the Cherrymons and the Ajitars, which, you know, it's what you do. But still playing the 2 Quartzmons. I love the fact that, I mean, it's so streamlined, right? I mean, you play
very
2
nice deck. Yeah.
You play 2 of the Mimis, even though you don't want to play those Mimis because they're expensive and there's nothing that will play them for free. So, but the 4 boosts, the HPD, I mean, when I think of a standardized Bloom Hydra deck, this is kind of what I imagine.
Well, I mean,
with the exception of the fact that they don't streamline their eggs. They do play a 5th egg.
So. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like in green, you should really play it's just advice from BT1 because of the fact that we had Mimi.
Yeah.
And Mimi would, make it so you go through your eggs faster.
Yeah.
And then generally with green decks, like this deck's playing 14 level 3s, play so many 3s to back that up, and constantly raise, have the Mimi to have an extra raising phase, so makes sense. Have a 5th egg.
Yeah. Well, so from a not so surprising deck, we go to the second deck, which this one I don't want to say blew me away, but there was a lot of interesting choices in this security control deck. So we haven't seen a security control deck like top in quite a while.
Yeah.
At least a few weeks. But once again, like we finally see some EX4 pieces in here.
One whole
really
piece.
Cool. One whole piece, but I don't think we've seen a security control deck that plays Black War Greymon.
No, that's crazy.
The Wisemon was crazy. Yeah. The BT-5 Megidramon I loved, and we have Digimon Emperor. Like, what a cool list.
Well, that's what I love about these security control lists, right? Is that they do end up taking like a trend, right? Where it's like you didn't used to see Digimon Emperor as a card until this last set or two. Where in security control, now all of a sudden it's a staple in security control. Mm-hmm. You know, the Megidramon, that wasn't in a deck for a while. Remember when people used to play Galmon, Crimson Mode, and Junomon, you know? And now it's transitioning. The fact that it plays Black War Gray is crazy interesting. You know, because like I feel like I just would have done 4 Shadow Seraphi in this.
Yeah, but look how aggressive they are with the Tamers. I mean, it's wild.
Yeah, yeah. And like not really, I mean, yes, there's kill spells, but people are kind of just going down the route of just relying on the 12 Flamehail Scythe, on a Chaos Daco, and Chaos Degradation for their options.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I know that's what I'm doing in my Alliance security control video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Yeah. Is those exact same options. Obviously, I'm not playing Calling from Darkness, but I play all the same options that they're playing there. Right. So it's
crazy, though. They just hard play the Wisemon or the Megidramon. Or not Megidramon, but Magnandramon. And then they just Digivolve up from there. They either go... You know, with the Shadow Seraphi Shadow Seraphi can go on either of those level 5s.
Yep.
Having that purple option with the Wisemon, so they can actually do the Megidramon and help mill their opponent and do stuff.
Yep.
Black War Gray is a crazy option in security control, which a lot of people. I mean, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming for sure. Nope.
But deletes Tamers, right? That's the one that deletes Tamers, right?
Well, yes.
I think so.
Yes, yeah. Right? If you have a black Digimon in its sources, delete Tamers up to 6 cost.
Yeah.
You can delete 2 to 3 Tamers depending on what your opponent's playing. So it makes a lot of sense for the 3rd and 4th place decks that we're seeing with the Hunters.
Yes. So
right.
Let me jump to that. Yeah.
Which is because it's deleting those Tamers.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised we didn't see any Merva cross decks, but instead we see Hunters take 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, with no Merva support. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like. I don't get it.
Yeah, interesting that like they give us those Gravity Crush alt arts, but we don't see any Gravity Crush in these decks.
And you know that's what.
And they're both pretty similar decks. There's not a whole. There's a couple like card differences here and there, but they look like they play pretty similar to each other. You know.
It just all depends on what your preference is. But what's crazy to me is that one deck, like neither of these are really playing Quartzmon. No, excuse me. 2 Quartzmon. Oh, they're both playing Quartzmon.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the way they do these, why can't they just sort them by level? I don't care about the color. Just sort them by level. So, because otherwise I sound dumb on the podcast.
They're just trying to confuse you. It's fine.
I can confuse myself just fine.
No, but they do. I mean, they both seem like they do similar things. We both played against decks that are very similar to these.
Yeah.
And we both know how nasty they can be. It's interesting that they've kind of risen to the top.
It kind of felt like Hunters was just not going anywhere. Like it was good.
It was good,
but never like
we haven't
dominant.
seen it in the top 4 for a while. It was always you would expect one of these to be like a Beelzemon deck.
Yeah.
Right. Especially in regionals where you don't have the color limitations of Ultimate Cup.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. Congratulations to all these players. We're excited and we're happy to see the Hunter stuff kind of coming to fruition. You know, it kind of deserved a spot or chance in the light, right?
Yeah. Wild, man.
Wild.
What are you going to build first in BT-13? Like when you get your first 6 boxes. When we get our first 6 boxes each.
That's so tough. That's such a great question.
Are you going to grab all your Ravemon pieces and put them in your Ravemon deck and just play that like I'm going to do with Jessmon? Or are you going to be like, I want to build something completely new? Like I'm going to build Belphamon.
It might be better if I figure out how to clone myself. Then I can play all of the decks at once.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think honestly, I'm leaning towards the Phoenixmon stuff first.
Phoenixmon?
Yeah. So I know this is interesting, but we get a new Garudamon, a new Biomon, we get the Christie Tamer, and all of it works so well together. Those 3 particular cards in general, because there's not necessarily a new level 4. Doesn't really make sense to use the Achillemon. Don't think there's not a new 6 either, so it's not like I'm getting a new level 6 in the deck either. But those
You're
pieces,
some avian support though.
I'm getting some avian support for red, and I'm like I love my Ravemon deck how it is, and I'm not quite yet ready for the first deck to ruin the amount of fun I've had with this deck as EX4, because it just hasn't been enough time between EX4 and BT-13, and I want to have a little bit more playtime with the Ravemon. obviously, like, day 2 is going to be Ravemon, but day 1, I'm thinking Phoenix Mon. And then I'm going to start piecing together Leopard Mons as I start buying the alt arts for the Leopard Mon stuff and figuring out what strategy is going to work with that, because right now it kind of just says beasts. And, like, the Angoromon stuff with, like, the Rulies and the Lamortmons, Simba, Angoromons, etc. Like, they can synergize in my head. That's kind of what direction I'm thinking, but I don't know if I want to go that route. So that's going to be my long-term deck. I'm excited to see all of the Royal Knights decks that everyone else is going to put together, because I kind of want to sit that meta out, or not that meta, that deck archetype out.
Okay.
Like, normally I'm all for zoo decks. Normally I love zoo decks, and especially when they reward people. But it's one of those things that I kind of think I want to let you guys handle that, and I focus on the other videos for the channel. Yeah. And then I can also I've just been having too much fun with stacks lately.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Ravemon has just reinvigorated me beyond belief with just how to play the game again, and Phoenix Mon was doing that for me in BT-11 and BT-12. And I'm not ready to just give that up to go into Royal Knights quite yet. You know, and I want to see what everyone else comes up with. I want to see everyone's stuff for it, but I just didn't have enough time in EX4, man. Didn't have enough time in EX4. But what about you, man?
I feel you. I'm more than excited for EX4 or for BT-13. There's a bunch of stuff I want to build. I know I'm going to try and go down the Royal Knights lines and see if there's something consistent I can build for each one. Obviously, like, I know you're going to handle Leopardmon, but I definitely want to tackle Jessmon. I think Kentoris can do some really fun things. I don't know if it's going to be like top tier meta, whatever, but I can have some fun with it for sure.
I think you can. I think you could do that deck really good justice.
Yeah, sure. And Jessmon's pretty easy. I think Jessmon, you literally just take out the 3s and the 4s and a couple of the 5s, and you just throw in the new ones, and the deck's pretty good. So, yeah, man. It's been kind of a fun week in anticipation for this upcoming set. It's felt kind of rushed, obviously, because
it does feel rushed.
And like, we just got our hands on the EX4 stuff, and now we're jumping right into the BT-13. And I think it feels like that mostly because we have kind of a whole new refreshed vision on Digimon and how they're building sets and building decks and building stuff for us to play with. I mean, we talked about it a few weeks ago, which like the lead designer changed, and I think this is the first set where we're really seeing that big change in how the game plays and how the game works. Without throwing a ton of keywords at us, they're literally just giving us kind of some new ways to play the game, and then a bunch of support. Like, we've never seen this many on-play when digivolving together, which I think is really, really good for the game, because they're like, here's all these level 6s. And guess what? You can either use them and digivolve them in their own way, or there's this really cool new way to throw them all together. And I think it's going to be really healthy for the game. I can't wait to see the tournament results and see where people take it and what becomes meta. Can you top with a like a tribal line from one of these Royal Knights, or is all of them together the best way to play the game? You know, I can't wait to see. So, and once we get back into more consistent locals and we start, beating each other up, I can't wait to see how that kind of ranks out on top.
I'm also curious to see what old Royal Knights people are going to play in their deck.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Because,
I mean, you already know we're both going to do that.
True. We'll figure out. But, like, I can't wait to see the random person with the Royal Knights deck that won a regionals that is playing this old Royal Knight that nobody thought to play in this deck because it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like something crazy like that. That's kind of what I'm waiting on.
Swing into an old Kentoris Mon and
like,
minus 12K, and they're like, oh my God, what?
BT3 Leopard Mon because it gives the Omeka Mon jamming, obviously groundbreaking.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see what people decide to do with the older stuff in the game for sure.
Yeah. Well, since we had such a fun week, should we get into cards of the week?
We should, yeah.
Yeah, let's jump into it. I guess I'm going to go first.
You're going first this time.
I think I should go first, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got some good play testing in this week. I can't wait for the new stuff. And like I said, I'm going to be playing Jessmon. That's going to be my first thing that I update. That's going to be my BT-13 baby, my first one. So I have to give a shout out to a card that just doesn't really change.
Yeah.
And that's the egg.
Yeah.
It's not, is it the tribal egg?
It's not for Jess.
No, it's not. But it's
well... That you put me on the spot there, right? Because I think that egg was kind of designed for Gamamon.
Okay, we're talking about Gurimon.
Gurimon.
Just so you guys know, BT-8 Gurimon.
BT-8 Gurimon. Great card. I think it's for Gamamon, but then the starter deck we got came with that egg. Not the BT-8
Not the
one.
same one, yeah. But
so maybe it is. Maybe they kind of dual purpose that Gurimon to be the Gamamon level 2 and the Huckmon level 2. I don't know.
Regardless of if it's tribal or not, it is fantastic for Jessamon. It has been since it came out, and it doesn't change. And I think that not just with Jessamon. I mean, if you want to draw, I guess if you're playing like Gallantmon, you play the GG. But other than that, if you want to draw in red, you pretty much play the Guri.
I think my last couple
really
red
good.
decks have been featuring that card. I love that card.
Yeah, as long as you're over 6K, you draw a card. So as long as you're pretty much a level 4, you draw a card.
It is tough because a lot of level 4s are sitting at that 5K threshold.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So red doesn't necessarily have that problem as much as other colors, but like Dark Tyranno, 1 cost Evo, is a 6K body. That's a perfect example of being able to draw a card and swing. So
being an Old Force player, it's almost as consistent as the Wanyamon, where you always have a tamer. Like if you're going to swing with red is always pretty strong, so you're always going to be at least 6K. So it's just a consistent draw egg, which is nice.
I'm using that Gurimon on my Phoenixmon deck more than I am the Yoko because it's important to draw early than it is with the on deletion, right? So great choice, man. That's a good choice.
All right, what do you got for me?
I'm going to go. So I kind of briefly touched about it this week, but I've just been really, really busy at work. Tons of inconsistencies in my work life situation this week just because it's been very busy, huge project. So I've been needing some consistency in my life.
Okay.
And this consistency comes in the form of EX4 Male Bergermon.
Oh, okay.
One of the most consistent pieces out of EX4. It is insane how much that Male Bergermon does for the deck. Now,
Blue Flare.
For Blue Flare.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess you could put it in a black deck because it can Digivolve for 3, but you're not going to Digivolve it. No, it's crazy because it's like a tie for me thinking about this because the Dual Tamer, the Kahira and Nene Tamer is just so good. And I like the fact that Tamer can be used in both Dark Knight and Blue Flare.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. It's a great Tamer. Does a lot of work for the deck. But for me, what I love about Blue Flare is when Metal Greymon swings with 2 checks and an unsuspense. What does it need as well? It needs jamming.
Yeah.
You can give it Armor Purge. You can give it Security Attack +1. You can give it the Unsuspend. You can do everything. Didn't have jamming. Yeah. And, sometimes when you have Armor Purge, you don't need it. Sometimes when you swing with that 8K Metal Gray, you wish you had jamming or you wish you had a little bit more DP. So I love the fact that this Male Bergermon just has a generic jamming inheritable. It's not if this, then that. It's just straight up one word. It's pretty. It's satisfying. Just super clean. Just jamming.
Love it.
So I'm a big fan of that. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we have had some crazy things happening other than just us working a lot.
Yeah.
We have some upgrades for the channel. I mean, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a new 4K camera.
I'm excited
for the wide shots, so you guys can get a little more pretty picture of Sir Jeff over there.
This wouldn't have been possible without viewers like you.
Viewers like you. If I can get that GIF, I'll figure it out. We also have some more upgrades coming for the channel. We got a new table coming. We got some fun stuff. We do. We're always trying to get better around here. You know? We are. Not necessarily. It's not about money or anything. We just, if we can do like one thing a month to kind of make this better, we always try. So we appreciate everyone that tunes in every single week. We know who you are. We appreciate you. We can see the numbers.
Yes.
And we can see, where everyone's, we get viewers from every corner of this country and every corner of the, maybe not every corner of the world, but a lot of corners of the world.
When we started this, because with this, I think this is episode 45, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember. We started this, we're like, oh yeah, we think our local buddies and local friends are going to like this. Yeah. And it actually grew pretty early. Yeah. Too, with the podcast. Like from the beginning, we would get people from other places. Like shout out to that one gentleman from Germany. Always comments on every week's video. Yeah. You've been with us since the very beginning, within the first 10 episodes. So that's awesome. Yeah. There's people who just been watching every week, and we cannot thank you guys enough for letting us do this.
That being said, half the people that watch this are not subscribed. So click the button.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Click the bell and come hang out with us. We got some more fun stuff coming for you guys. We've been a little lackluster just because this is such a short format. We've been trying to cram videos in as fast as we can with EX4.
Yeah.
But we know BT-13's right around the corner, and we have some crazy updates coming for a lot of crazy videos. So
yeah.
Stay tuned, and we will catch you guys in the next one.